In the dark there lies a tale, hey, with Joshua Joseph's voice. And beside him Viking storm stays, they speak with no choice. From the deep and blackened waters, where the secrets wail and cry, they pull back forgotten covers, exposing murky lies. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. They talk of ghostly whispers and ancient treasures call, with theories wrapped in shadows through waters deep and all. The oceans hide their secrets well, but not from this dark crew. Joshua and Viking storm, they seek, they find what's true. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. The oceans hide their secrets well, but not from this dark crew. Joshua and Viking storm, they seek, they find what's true. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. As depths become our graves.
How goes it, window lickers? It is Conspiracies at Sea. It's another Saturday night, and I'm here with my friends, as always. It is the one, the only Viking Storm with our young Jamie, Luna herself. So to just kick this off, everybody. So Luna's a little under the weather. She's getting better, but her voice is destroyed. So she will not be vocally on this episode, but she will be here in education and spirit. So those are two great things to be here with, and that's exciting, huh? There, Viking.
Yeah, she got sick Wednesday night and told me that, and I was like, oh, yeah. And she was hoping she'd be better by tonight, but I even told her, I was like, it's okay, you don't have to be talking the whole time. And she's having trouble keeping her voice clear to not sounding like gravelly the whole time. She's been having that issue.
Well, I'm glad you put it that way and not the way she put it before we went live. So, you know what? I think we're learning. We're learning here. We're monitoring ourselves. We're censoring ourselves. This is a good thing for us there, Viking.
I keep telling her she sounds like Marge Simpson a bunch of times. She will, though, when her voice gets really deep, she will randomly just start to sound like Marge out of like nowhere.
Hey, you gotta like that. Everybody loves The Simpsons. I know I do.
She'll do a random Homer, and I'm like, what? Are you talking to me? Like, what? Out of nowhere, and I'm like, I'm so confused.
You gotta love it. You got to love it. Speaking of things you gotta love the things happening right now in the world. If you're a conspiracy theorist, if you could sit back and go to seas with us, because there's a lot happening right now. We have told you guys for so long that there has been your money being misappropriated in so many places, but nobody wanted to listen. Everybody wanted to be the big guy who said, I know what I'm talking about because I went to a 4-year school, and I got a message today. Well, we got it last week, but you know what? We got another message uh, today from a great guy, just letting us know, he really appreciates what we're doing. So we'll play that now.
Knowing that our great countries is being looked at by the window lickers brings me great comfort. Join Viking Storm, Luna, and Joshua Joseph for all the truth. Everyone says it. Conspiracy at Sea is exactly what America needs.
You gotta love when our president can take his time and just shout us out. And he said, Viking, that he thinks that if he could, he would get me and you with Elon, and we could just go down to the Pentagon and just start auditing.
Oh God, can we bring
Yeah.
Tucker with as well? I want Tucker there.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we can get Tucker there.
I want Tucker there. I love
Tucker
Tucker. I really
yeah,
do.
I do too. I enjoy him.
I actually watch a lot of his stuff on YouTube, his interviews and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah, he's good. He's
does
great.
now. Oh yeah, his stuff is really good.
Yeah, he is.
Especially his Elon Musk fucking interview was great.
Oh yeah, it was perfect, dude. Like, say what you want about Tucker and how you feel about him, but him in an interview, no matter your feelings, is perfect because he asks the questions that we would ask. And he responds in the way we would respond. So there's always that connection. At least I feel that. Just like Rogan.
I get what you mean, because he doesn't do that fake person of I'm interviewing a celebrity or something, I should act like this. No, he's like, he will literally say, well, why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
He has literally said that to people, like, well, the fuck are you doing? Like, he will literally outright ask them why, like a lot of things. And he's great. I love his style.
Luna.
He doesn't bullshit it, and he's very straightforward.
Exactly, Viking. That's exactly what I love about it. And Luna, yes, if that could ever be a possibility, in a heartbeat, wouldn't even care. Wouldn't even care who said boo about it. I would do it. So Viking, we got like I said, we got the Department of Government Efficiency going through, taking out some things. We got the Department of Education is actually getting a little seems like a rehaul too. I don't know if you've seen, but as of, I believe it was yesterday or maybe Thursday, Maxine Waters, representative, she was out there trying to get in, and nobody was letting anybody in there. There was quite a bit of people holding some people back, but they brought one guy out and grilled him. And I don't know, man. I'm really starting to think that the idea of reading and comprehension is really gone lately. There's just so many things, like even with the raids going on now, people are misrepresenting that to no end. I know I get questions from my kids because they have a school that is very mixed with tons of different
diverse,
races. Very diverse, and their friends are some Hispanic kids, and they ask questions, and a lot of them will come my kids will come directly to me to ask, to tell them, and I'm like, you watched what he said, what he's going to do. Like, I don't think people don't take people at their word anymore.
I mean, look at I don't remember his name all the time. There's a lot of shit. It's Tom Homan, right? That's the guy's name.
Yes.
It's the leader of the he's the border czar now.
Yes,
he is. He's doing what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Look at was it in the Arizona, or was it California governor or whatever it was? He said he's gonna. There was a whole thing just recently that it was in Arizona, I think, that they're not allowing them to get illegals or something.
Yeah, there was a I forget what he actually he is, but he was giving an interview, and he said that he's housing a migrant in his above his garage, and he dared the ICE patrol and Tom to come and get him. And like Tom Homeland said in the interview that night, legally we can do that. And I don't think you want that, but legally we can, because there's a lot of things going on. Like I don't know.
I mean, I did see a video of some site. It was a construction site or something. This dude said, "Oh, I'm illegal," and some shit. He's like, "Oh, come and fucking get me. You won't do it." And then he got arrested like the same week.
Yeah, it's
dumbass. Don't put that on the internet that you are illegal.
That's what I don't understand.
How dumb are you?
Yeah, I don't get
I
it.
mean, I'm not. Listen, I'm totally for, and I've said it. We've had this conversation. I am all for. You want to be in my country? Go right ahead. I don't care. Be legal though. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's just that's how it is. Like I seen it the other day too. It was what I said last time about the people that. Or no, it was my bad. It was all about all the agriculture stuff. Like who's going to work the fields if the legals won't? That's what it was the other day. It was a post about that, and I'm like, this is literally what I said last time about being the guy. Because how Democrats like to ask, what did they take away from you? How I've said before is being the guy that works that $10 an hour job because it's all you have. That's what gets taken away from you. I've been that guy. I'm pretty sure you probably been that guy at one point in time. You work that $10 job that's going fucking nowhere, but you work like three $10 an hour jobs because it's all you got.
Yeah.
And you bust your ass to make this world, and that's what you're trying to do. That's what gets taken away from people like me, people like you. It does.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And Luna over there with the silver spoon in her mouth, she's over here thinking.
But if your attitude or your idea is that the population's going to get smarter, healthier, and more adept at problem solving, you're on fucking crack.
I mean, Luna with all her just silver spoon privilege, just throwing it out there, agreeing with Tim out there. And the only reason I'm fucking with Luna is, again, fans, if you weren't in here in the first 5 minutes, she can't talk because she's sick. So this is a time, if you're in the chat and you want to say something to her, let her know.
Type something.
Silver spoon.
Hey, if she's got a fucking silver spoon, I want to know where it is, because why the fuck are we barely scraping by day to day?
She would never tell a Viking who goes out there to seize and just ravishes countries. She wouldn't let you know that. She's got to keep a nest egg, so in case things go south, you know how it goes, man.
The funny thing is, everybody expects me to be a Minnesota Vikings fan. When the fuck do we get ice? Yeah,
that is a great question. That is a great question.
But everybody expects me to be a Vikings fan. They're like, "Oh, you're a Packers fan." Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin. I'm a Packers fan. I like a team that wins, not loses, like the Vikings.
Yes, that's true. And fans,
people are like, "Oh," I mean, they say skull the wrong way. They say skull. They're literally yelling skull. I'm like, it's not a fucking. If you want chew, go get chew. Skull is at the gas station. Like, quit saying it wrong.
You gotta
skull.
You gotta love these moments just because it's fun. And you know what? We're sorry, fans, that Viking just went on a cussing tirade here. I know the Packers and saying Wisconsin are definitely no words here. But he doesn't play by my rules. He plays by the rules of the sea. So I don't really think I can stop him. And honestly, I mean, there can be so much.
I was like, whoa, hey, sorry, I just told a joke. I think what you did was much worse.
Oh, really?
They're just cussing things.
I mean, it could be worse. I could be a Bears fan.
Oh, okay, fans.
Hopefully, Ken, I don't know. He might have autism. I don't even know him that well. He's a great guy, and I'm glad that.
Oh, I definitely have autism. I know that. So I don't want to hear
it. Oh, you gotta love it. All right, fans. So enough murking around. It's time to get to the mountains. We're going back to the Appalachian Mountains, and we're gonna go look into some more mysteries. We got a couple of little mysteries here and there that we want to explore a little more from the last time we were there. And last time we were there, we definitely hit a lot of things that are out there. But there's so much more, but we're going to cover some of our favorite ones. And we got Luna chiming in. He is the full spectrum eating the Skittles with vodka. I like it. I like it. I like it so much, Luna. That's exactly why this show is one of the best shows out there. It's definitely up there with a lot of variety. I mean, you get shit like this.
Your pussy killed my son.
I mean, it happens on a daily basis. People need to watch out. But back to what we're here for, Appalachian Mountains. So I'm going to cover a subject on the Appalachian Mountains, and it's going to be about the Bell Witch story. So we're going to dive deep into that. The one Luna was going to cover is is it the moon-eyed children, or is it people? So it's a people. It's a people. Now I did look into this a little bit though. From the last time, and I'm looking at my notes from the last episode. There's before we dive into anything, you know what? Before we actually dive into everything, we got to hit you with that disclaimer because, well, fans, we got to keep our P's and Q's and our dicks out of fires.
Disclaimer. The theories and opinions discussed on this podcast are for entertainment and informational purposes only. They are strictly speculative and should not be taken as factual or authoritative. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not represent established facts or expert consensus. Listener discretion is advised!
And when you know that
disclaimer is like a bop.
I know. I was just going to talk about it. I was literally just about to say
every
when you
time
know
you
that
play it, me and Luda are like jamming to it. Like it's too fucking good to listen to.
I know it is. It's a good one, and it kind of scares me that it's that good because AI is definitely on my wavelength. It knows me already,
dude. All the videos you see all the time on like Facebook or something scrolling, you're like, damn, is this AI? Can't tell anymore.
Yeah, I'm there with you, man. It flips me out, but I will say I'm enjoying the time I'm spending doing these things and coming up with this different music. But it is definitely eerie. But back to what we're into the Appalachian Mountains. Before we get into it, though, Viking, let me ask you, because I know this is a subject that you really like to get into. It's your subject. I mean, this is your week.
Mm-hmm.
What intrigues you about the Appalachian Mountains?
That it's literally got thousands and thousands of different mysteries. It's literally a supernatural hotspot that like never ends. It's like Skinwalker Ranch, you know? Like it's another Bermuda Triangle of America. It really is.
No, I can't argue.
Tons of different things. I mean, I've been trying to get information. Oh, it's frozen on Twitch. Is it? No, it's not. He's fine. It's fine on Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch has been acting a little weird. I noticed that in Lou's chat, and there was a couple other streams I was watching.
Oh yeah, because Wembley the other day, and then Lou yesterday was kind of freezing here and there. Yeah. Twitch has been really pissy lately.
Yeah, who knows what they're doing?
Probably one of their updates they're screwing up or something. As always, it's nothing new. I mean.
Oh yeah, exactly. We deal with it.
But yeah, no, the Appalachians has so many mysteries. Like I'm trying to find, actually it's kind of hard to Google it because finding exact things, but the whistling people of Appalachia is something I'm trying to look into because I know when you hear whistles, like I see plenty of videos of people sitting in their house and they'll hear whistles on like a ring cam or a camera outside. And then they hear movement, but there's nobody there. And a common thing is you don't acknowledge the whistles. You're supposed to let them go. Because there's a bunch of different theories to the whistles of the Appalachians.
Dude, you know what? I absolutely love that we're friends because my brain is already there. And I was just going to talk about that because there is a mystery out there with that exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've researched into it is these are not people. These are mimics.
Mm-hmm. They're
You
mimics.
know of a mimic, right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of stories that like that hunters have been walking through the forest and all of a sudden they'll hear the whistle because it's
Mhm.
the Appalachians, it's that area, of course, it's that northeast, part there it's goes down to the south, of course, but it's like in the middle there.
Yeah.
And it's all that part. So, and there's hunting. I mean, from Kentucky to up to Virginia and whatnot. And there's a bunch of hunting in that area. And a lot of stories you'll hear that hunters will be walking through the woods and they'll hear this whistle and they stop and do not fucking move
Mm.
because you're not supposed to move. You're not supposed to acknowledge it. You're not supposed to even know it exists. But you're not supposed to move is what I hear a lot of times. A lot of these
Yeah.
stories. But I've seen a ton of like YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, TikToks, whatever you want to call them. There's a bunch of videos of people sitting there in their house and they'll hear whistling from outside and they don't acknowledge it. That's a common thing in the Appalachians. They do not acknowledge it because
Yeah.
to acknowledge it, it means the creature knows you're there then, and they know you can hear them and they will not give up then.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're mimics. Basically, that's what everybody says. They're mimics.
And that's why there's a big rule up there when you go to bed, when you're resting for the night, you're not really active, the sun's gone down. You need to close all your windows,
Mm-hmm.
shades, and things like that. There was a video I watched before we went live when I was doing some editing. It's exactly of that. There's these two female-like figures in this window, and they're just like staring in. And the one is like she's moving her head really weird, and the person that's discussing it, they're talking about how those aren't people, those are mimics, and in their area of the Appalachian Mountains, they've been told since children never to acknowledge what comes to the windows or
Mm-hmm.
and a mimic will definitely do things like whistling. They'll do things that they know that what they can see, what they're looking at, if they know they can trick it in some way with whatever it's doing, they'll do that. Whistling for a hunter, if you hear whistles out there, it's like almost knowing, hey, maybe not shoot your gun right now. Somebody else could be out here.
Right.
Let's find each other before we do any crossing. Things like that. So
No, you're right. Because you said that thing about hunting and the whistles is because that's a lot of times how they would communicate way back in the day. They would whistle to each other to communicate. A lot of family members would and whatnot. Certain sounds they would do a certain whistle to communicate. Still now though, it's only during the daytime though, but it's said because doing the whistle can also lure in the spirit or the creature, mimic, whatever it is, can lure it in. That's what's said a lot of times. Is that's the reason why they don't whistle a lot.
Yeah,
And I hear that quite a bit.
And like I said, there's so much mystery, and like you were saying, that's why you love it. There's just so much mystery to uncover. We'll never actually be able to hit every single point out there. But that's what intrigues me a lot about these different discussions, like the Bermuda Triangle, the Alaskan Triangle, the Black Pyramids, things like that, because there's just such an allure to them that, why not? Why not care about it? Why not want to be a part of it?
And like you said, in our first time around doing this was the brown lights. I never heard of that before. Until you brought it up, I never heard of that. That one was really interesting. It's a very unique thing. And then I looked into it more. I was like, oh, it's kind of a well-known thing down there that avoid the brown lights. Don't go near them. And they just let them exist. Half of these things, they just let them exist in the Appalachians. They just don't acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's that let's not acknowledge it. Let's not see what it might lead to. And we got Luna chiming in here in the old private chat, which you fans are not privy to. She's saying, I've seen a video on TikTok that the mimic was inside the person's house. The mom was tucking her two kids in into bed. All the lights were on in the house. The door was shut in the kids' room, and all of a sudden you hear knocking and visually see the door handle shaking. Kids were truly freaked out. Then the door opened and no one was there. Yeah, that's a
I
common
see a
one.
lot of those vids though too. It's like, is this real? Is it not? Because a lot of them are definitely faked, but
Yeah,
some of them you can't tell.
you're correct, and I do like how Luna put that in there with the kids being totally freaked out. Usually, unless you're a psycho who likes to traumatize your children, that's how I gauge it. If there's a kid in there and they are truly freaked out, and it's not a parent being like,
I mean, if I had kids, I'd freak my kids out all the time. Not gonna lie.
but would you make them think there's a mimic outside their bedroom door trying to eat them
That's
at
a
night?
tough one. I don't know. I mean, shit.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't think so.
let me give you my expertise. When you become a parent, there's seldom times where you and the missus can have alone time. And that one of those times is during kids' bedtime. So you do nothing but make sure they think that there's unicorns and cotton candy rainbows out there because they need good sleep. And you need a good
Candyman, Charlie.
you gotta love it, Viking. You gotta love it. But yeah, the mimics.
All I could think of when you said that was
crazy.
Candyman, Charlie. That's all I could fucking think of.
You bring it back. You're dating us, man. You
We're
are.
that old though.
Yeah, we are. I remember standing in a friend's living room, drunk as shit, watching that video for the first time, and being like, "Why do people like this? What's going
I
on?"
still don't understand why people like that and salad fingers. I still don't understand it. I
Yeah.
do not understand it. I don't get it.
There's things out there that we're not supposed to get, but that's exactly why this
I
show
mean, rusty
exists.
spoons is something I'll still never understand.
You're not meant to. You're not meant to.
I never have. I mean, yeah, we grew up in the more unique coming of age side of the internet, and that's the thing. We got to witness all that shit.
Yeah, we did. It's traumatizing if you ask me. I think we should be cut a
there's a
check.
reason. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
love
probably should be cut a check for everything we had to deal with.
that's just so
What's
funny.
my severance package for having to deal with the fucking internet?
Exactly. Where's it at? Come on. All right. So let's get into some Appalachian theories, some stories, some legends that are out there. You know what, Viking? I'm if it's okay with you, I'm going to take the reins and I'm going to throw out some
Go
Bell
ahead.
Witch stuff right now. Okay. So let's outline this for the fans. So where the Bell Witch incidents take place, the location is Adams, Tennessee, obviously the United States of America. The time period is early 19th century, primarily from 1817 to 1821. So your key figures in this story that I'm about to tell you is John Bell. He is the patriarch of the Bell family, primary target of the hauntings. So John is going to be one of our main focal points. The hauntings start with John. You also have Lucy Bell, who is John's wife. There's Betsy Bell, the daughter, who was also tormented by this Bell Witch entity. You also have Richard Bell, another child of John and Lucy, less central, but he was still associated with it. The entity wasn't really focused anywhere too much towards Richard, which is the son. And Betsy, I believe.
Wasn't there a thing about the daughter running out of the house like from a spirit or something? Isn't there a story about that?
Well, Viking, since you like to jump ahead, maybe you should set back.
I was just asking.
Well, I will let you know if there's a story about that. I'm setting up the story. I'm painting the
I just
picture.
remember some story about it, like the Bell thing, and I thought there was a thing about the daughter running out the house screaming.
I really think you're right about that one. And the Bell Witch herself is Kate Bates.
Is it
So
Bates or Bats?
it's is it Bats? It's
Isn't it Yeah,
Batts.
that's because I've heard it said both ways before, and I don't know if it's because automatically I think of Catherine Bates or something like that. And
Yeah.
I was just
Okay. So let's go with Bats. We'll just go with Bats
yeah.
because I can see that confusion there too. So the Bell Witch was known back then not as the Bell Witch, but the Kate Bats curse. Okay. This
Oh.
that's the spirit or entity responsible for all of this. Okay. So
Mhm.
there's a name to our entity. Okay, so some of the events that happened, the initial encounters in 1817, the Bell family first noticed strange phenomenon, like unexplained noises and sightings of strange creatures in the fields. The escalation of the activity, the disturbances grew into a physical attacks, uh, particularly against John and Betsy Bell. So again, if we go back to it, John was the dad, Betsy the daughter. So those were the two main people in this family that were affected by this specific entity, this curse, Bats, the Bell Witch.
So I've
Go ahead.
noticed a lot of with the story. Where is the mom with this whole entire thing? Because I've never heard a mention of the wife or mom or anything with the Bell Witch thing. Like I've never seen a mention of it at all.
Well,
You know
um,
that?
I mean that you yeah, you're hitting on something.
That's just something I've always noticed with the Bell Witch is there's never a mention of a mom or a wife or anything being a part of the family, like
Well,
John Bell's wife. Like I don't know what
Lucy
happened.
Bell was John's wife.
Okay, okay.
So Lucy
Yeah, I was
Bell
just confused
is
about that.
John's wife, but
Okay.
that's all it says about her. Everybody else in the family with the description for the key figures has a like Betsy, daughter, who was also tormented by entity. Richard Bell, another child of John and Lucy, less central but involved. Like everybody else in this family has something, even Kate, but Lucy doesn't. It just says John's
Yeah,
wife.
that's the weird thing is that Lucy's never been involved about it at all. Like a single bit. There's nothing that happens to her, it seems to be.
That's
So was she the witch all along?
well, that's a good question.
You know?
Um, hmm, maybe we'll get in. Well, maybe we'll figure a little bit of that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just a thing that I noticed though with the stories that she's never like involved with any of it. Like nothing seems to be happening to her.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think I figured that out on a different thing about the Bell Witch, some other series, maybe an unsolved show I
hmm.
watched.
I mean, there's quite a bit of things that were involved with it, but like what they were doing. I mean, after the physical attacks were, like I said, particularly against John and Betsy, father and daughter. The voices, especially a female voice, began speaking, sometimes singing hymns, other times making threats or providing information.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this could be a very confusing thing, especially back in 1817,
Oh,
where,
definitely. Back then when you
you
don't know
know,
anything about it and just chilling in your house and all of a sudden there's a woman's voice just singing to you out of nowhere and you're like, that's not my daughter or wife. Like, what the hell is that?
yeah, and not singing just anything, but singing hymns. I mean,
Yeah.
back then, that's a thing that'll make you fucking your toes curl. Um, yeah, making threats. I wonder what information was provided. That's kind of eerie too. Um,
It's very scattered with information in the Bell Witch I would say project, the Bell
yeah,
Witch mystery. Like, it's very scattered with what the information is about it. There wasn't, I mean, given it's the 1800s, it's a different time. You know, it's stories passed down, but there's not going to be a lot of information. But there's not a lot of that goes in depth about it.
yeah.
It always seemed to be whatever people could find is what's out there. The bare minimum too.
Yeah, I did have a little trouble finding some things, but you know, I found a good loophole. I found a good rabbit hole, and I was able to pull at least the information I could pull for this show. Which this we're gonna dive into what Betsy's, the daughter, her engagement was with this. She the witch seemed particularly focused on Betsy, even interfering with her relationship with Joshua Gardner, eventually leading to the breakup of their engagement. So Betsy got her life kind of fucked up from this witch.
The witch literally said, "Nah, bitch, you ain't getting anybody."
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's another point of this outline of this story. So we're going to get into more of John Bell's death. John Bell's health deteriorated, which was attributed to the witch's influence. He died under mysterious circumstances, and the witch was said to have sung at his funeral.
What
the fuck?
Wait, say that again. He had what at his funeral?
she sung a song at his funeral.
The witch.
Mm-hmm.
Luda's all freaked out over here about it.
Yeah, at his funeral. So not only is it
I think I heard about
suspected,
that.
not only is it suspected that this witch had something to do with with his death, she fucking showed up to the goddamn funeral, and she's like, you know what? Everybody needs to hear what I can do.
Was it a physical form or like ghost karaoke?
Well, again, okay, so what I'm reading right now is an outline to this. So this is just a rough outline. So it just says, and the witch was said to have sung at his funeral. So it says that the aftermath of John's death, the hauntings continued but lessened after John's death. The witch promised to return in 7 years after his death. True to the promise, the witch returned in 1828 for a brief period, and again in the 1850s, according to the family accounts. The impact that this specific story, the Bell Witch, has had, the Bell Witch story has become one of the most famous hauntings in American folklore, influencing literature, movies, and TV shows. It has it has been explored in various books, with The Bell Witch by M.V. Ingram being one of the earliest published accounts. So that would be the one to kind of go into a little more with that author, because they were the ones closest in time periods to that.
Interesting.
So the Bell family actually lived in Robertson County, Tennessee, which is near Adams. Again, John, he was a respected farmer. His wife Lucy and their children, including Betsy, were they were just your normal family. Some of the more at the beginning, there was they would, like we were talking about in the field, they would see strange figures and stuff.
You said animals.
Yeah, here's where it's going a
Are
little.
you talking about like
into it.
Wendigo type animals, like mimic looking things? Like what they see, like weird creatures?
Well, here they would get. So it says, starting. They were experiencing odd occurrences, starting with the sight of strange animals in their fields, which then escalated into a nocturnal disturbance, like knocking and rattling sounds. The disturbance grew into a physical attack, like we talked about earlier. Again, particularly with John and Betsy. Kate. Oh, okay. So apparently Kate Batts and John they were neighbors, and the Bell family. But
Mhm.
Kate and John, they were not very cordial with each other. They had a very rough relationship as neighbors. It's not saying anything further like what their arguments were over.
Weird.
It says Betsy was subjected to violent hair pulling and slaps. John suffered from what was described as strokes and paralysis. So sounds like John might have died from a stroke caused by a fucking witch who then sung at his funeral. Oh, that's like saying, I hate you so much, I wish I had a DeLorean to go back in time and give your dad a condom.
Oh wait, did you not know that? Yeah, the spirit of the Bell Witch is said to be Kate.
Well, I knew that that's who it was, but the fact that Kate, when she was a human form, she was John's neighbor. I didn't know that.
And see, was this way down in your information? Because it always seems to be whenever I've heard about this. Because I think it was on BuzzFeed. I think it was a thing on there, Mysteries Unsolved, that at the very end of the show, they finally realized it was something. They found out that she was his neighbor. Like that's the very last piece of information, like always on these things, that it's never revealed right away that she was his neighbor, and that's what they think killed him.
Yeah. Yeah, because it just went into what we were talking about with the spirit singing hymns. It would also
Like she
quote,
didn't like him farming on her land or something
yeah,
like that.
I
Yeah.
think it was a land discrepancy thing that John wanted. He wanted to farm, but Kate was saying that that was into her land. But this is saying that also the voices, when they would hear the singing of hymns, it would also quote scripture and carry on a conversation, and even seem to know intimate details about the family's life. Holy shit,
That's
man.
creepy. That's really
This
creepy.
is nuts.
Could you imagine like just chilling there and all of a sudden this ghost starts talking about your daughter or something, like what she did the night before or something, like just fucks with you like that?
That would
That's all I can think, because you think about this, and I know that's a little dark, but think about it. This witch didn't care because she was trying to make John's life a living hell, literally. And so think about it. She probably sat there and was like, "Oh yeah, your daughter did this and this with whatever the guy's name was that she was trying to date." And like
Gardner.
Gardner, yeah. Like who knows what was said that was really fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, because when it goes into more of Betsy's stuff, it just says the witch seemed to have a particular vendetta against Betsy's relationship with Josh Gardner.
You have a good point there, hon, and I read that. I don't think they could have manifested as Kate to take the form, because a lot of times it's always referenced that it was Kate Batts, though. That was the neighbor. So I don't think they would have manifested to be her.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because this isn't really a poltergeist thing either, though, either.
Well, I mean, hair pulling and stuff like that. I mean, that's considered a poltergeist activity.
Is it? That was just random spirit being an asshole. I mean, isn't that what it is? Because you always see these shows and whatnot.
Well,
and walk away scratches or marks and stuff, and it's like that's not always a poltergeist, though. It's also it can be a spirit just fucking with you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't know, but she was also getting slapped. What we need to get you know what? We need to get a demonologist on here. Would you guys be down
Luna
talking
likes
to,
this.
yeah, would you guys want to talk to a demonologist?
That'd be dope to talk to a demonologist on one of these episodes.
Yeah, we're gonna do Luna. I see you in the chat. We're gonna do what we do on Monday nights with that particular idea and put a pin in it. But yeah, I think we should so we can clear up some of this stuff. Like I mean,
Because I have a ton of questions I'd love to ask somebody that investigates this shit and like would have more information. Like there's a ton of questions. Luna likes this. It's right up her alley. She's smiling like a dork over there. She's so
Dude.
happy about this one.
yeah, I keep reminding me of it, and I'll try to find somebody that we can talk to, and I'll reach
Definitely.
out to a couple places. But back to John's funeral. So listen to this. So the witch was reportedly heard at his funeral, singing, mocking the family, and claiming responsibility for his death. So not only did she sing, she mocked the family and was like, "Yeah, I killed that fuck."
That is so fucked up, man.
Yeah, it really is. So why is this story? Why was it so convincing to these people back then? That's what I
mean,
asked.
the 1800s. I mean, they didn't have a lot of technology back then, and back then, you know, spirits were known to be the unknown was supposed to be feared so much, especially the 1800s. This is Wild West times, you know. This is a lot of the country is still uninhabited. Like a lot of it's not, you know, how do I say this? It's unpopulated. A lot of it's very rural and very, you know, just still out there.
Yeah.
Because
No.
what 1800s we have around this time we've had the I think Civil War is going to happen soon, right? It's going to happen soon. There was also the whole Indian Cowboy War.
Yeah, I
All that
mean,
stuff was happening. Like that's what was happening with America at the time. And, you know, Wild West was going on. There was outlaws everywhere. So a lot of this shit is like very unknown that just spirits are a thing, you know. But the thing is, you know, it was very unknown, so it was very odd to them, and so it was very convincing that they could just believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I mean, this. It's crazy because you think about back then, they didn't have all the distractions we have now. All the people being like, "Oh, I'm an expert in this. This is what it is." Blah blah blah. And yeah, Luna, I did see your little sarcastic remark about arresting the witch. So here you go.
I literally don't even care.
Yeah, I literally don't even care. But yes, so let's see what AI said when I asked that question. Why is this one so convincing, especially to the people back then? And documentarian Ingram's book was based on interviews with the surviving family members and locals who experienced or heard about the events firsthand. And that's that book we talked about earlier when I said that this would be the one to look into because it's the closest to the timeline. It's so close that he was talking to the surviving members.
Wow.
The details of the story, the narrative includes specific details that about the family's life, the interactions with the spirit, and the community's involvement, which led more to the credibility because there was quite a few people in that town who seen the stuff, who like witnessed this family go through this stuff. The story has remained consistent over time in the core elements, which might suggest a basis in real events, although with embellishments. So there might have been some things that might have been embellished. Of course, we know for if you're selling a book or something, some stories in there if they're real life, they're not as interesting. You add a little flavor to it. But despite all that, The skepticism persists due to the absence of physical evidence. The folklore aspects of the story and the uh, potential for embezzlement over time. Oh, I wonder if there was,
Huh?
well, the farm. We have to remember he
Mm.
was a farmer. So I wonder if there was some type of but why would,
That doesn't really line up though.
yeah. Well, it says nonetheless, Ingram's accounts is often cited when looking for a comprehensive and detailed narrative about the Bell Witch incidents. So he is definitely somebody to go look into. Um, I'm definitely going to check a little more into that after this, especially about the embezzlement aspect. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, go ahead, Viking.
I think that was a thing that I heard about though before too, was the embezzlement thing. Because yeah, it was a thing with the property. I think it was. I think it was something with the property was inheritance to somebody or something. It's very scarce on the details of it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that that's exactly what Ingram was saying in his book in a couple of these little spots that they hit. Uh, you know, they had there was some in the book, there was some accounts that from the neighbors and friends of the Bell family back up the basic narrative of the hauntings, if if and the dramatic details. So the family members and neighbors are saying that these events are real, and other people are saying that there was some additions added on Ingram's behalf. But again, he was the closest timeline period to them. So I don't know. But let's get into the real quick before we head on to your topic. Let's get into Kate Batts and do a little more
Yeah.
exploring on her. So her full name was Catherine Batts, sometime referred to as Kate or Old Kate Batts. She lived in Red River near the Bell family in Robertson County, Tennessee, in the early 19th century. Relationships with the Bell family, there was quite a bit of conflict. The primary backstory element is the land dispute between Kate and John. It's said that John either cheated Kate out of land or they had a falling out over a business deal which soured their relationship. The conflict is commonly cited as the reason for the haunting. So there we go. We got a little more clarification to the conflict between these two, and it does seem like it was land. There was a business deal with land, and something didn't go right for one of them. Which I don't know, if you're going to haunt somebody, I think it would be Kate. It didn't go in Kate's
Yeah.
favor. That's what I would say. I mean, so much that she showed up as a ghost to the funeral singing. That's pretty crazy.
I mean, it doesn't get more diabolical to haunt somebody than that.
No, you're 100% on that. So let's dive into Kate's character, who she was, her personality. Kate was described by some as an unfriendly neighbor, a big woman, strident and coarse. She was known for being outspoken, which might have contributed to her being an outcast or at least not well liked in the community. So Kate sounds like a see you next Tuesday. Doesn't sound like too many people enjoyed Kate's company.
I've heard that multiple times in the stories that she wasn't really liked.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like she's a fun person. But she did have a family life. She was married to Frederick Batts, who was reportedly paralyzed, leaving much of the farm work to her. They had several children. Those specific names and details are less documented. Well, if he was paralyzed, how many children are they having? What is she
I was gonna
doing?
say, was she just like, stay still, hubby? I'm gonna
Yeah.
get it hard and just ride it. Like,
Yeah, this is crazy.
keep looking at
Man.
these bouncy titties and stay hard. I don't fucking. How does that work? Like, how did she get him off to like have more kids? Like, I'm genuinely curious how that works. Back in the 1800s or whatever the fuck it was.
Well,
Like, I'm genuinely curious of that timeline of how did you get a paralyzed man off to give you a child because he could barely get up because he couldn't fucking feel it probably.
Luna, we need you to start making a list of where we're going to visit if we ever get a DeLorean. And this is one of these times we're going back there and we're going to check. We're going to be peepers in Kate's window and we're going to check this out. We're going to haunt her ass.
Oh, God.
That'll be fun. So let's go into Kate's role in the haunting. The Bell Witch, the spirit haunted the Bell family claimed to be Kate Batts, which at one point during the interrogations by Reverend James Gunn, huh? Okay. However, this spirit later this spirit later denied any connection to Kate, leading to the confusion about the true nature of the entity. Nonetheless, the name Kate stuck, associating the poltergeist with her. So, you know what? We need to go back to Luna's comments right here. But could the ghost have manifested as Kate to take a form?
Yeah.
You know what, Luna, that was a home run swing. I know you were full count, bottom of the ninth, down by 2 runs, and you swung, but I think you might have made connection on this because here's what I was thinking before I read this. The Kate's, basically, she was still alive when this was going on to the Bell family. So Kate wasn't dead. So how did
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me the hauntings and stuff that was happening to the family, Kate was still alive?
Yeah.
This totally fucks things up so much
Yeah,
because
she was interrogated by one of the reverends.
this is totally fucked up.
But again, now you see why I'm bringing Luna's comment back up.
I mean, yeah, but okay, what?
Could this spirit have possessed Kate to do these things?
I mean, what was the interrogation of? Is there any like text about the interrogations of Kate or anything? Like what was said, what was asked?
Let me scroll down.
Hold on, when did Kate die?
We'll have to look that up.
I was just saying, what was her life and death?
Because I mean, I have.
Oh, Luna's already AI asking.
She lived until 1843.
So she outlived John.
Yeah, John died in 1820. She lived 23 years past John.
So the witch was definitely not Kate Batts.
Mm.
I mean, she could have been a witch, but she wasn't the one haunting, technically.
Well, she died in 1843 and they said that it came back in 1850. 1850 was the last
But
time
at
this
John's
town
death,
has seen that.
that's 7 years after.
7
And that
years
was
after her
in
death.
43, right?
Yeah, 1843. So 7 years after her death was the last known, where the community itself agreed that that was the Bell Witch.
Because John died 1820, and
Mhm.
the witch said in 7 years she'll return. So
And
was
she
it
did.
Kate at the funeral saying she's going to return? Or was it the ghost?
See, and here's the yeah, I mean, because this leads me back to where I said I think we need a demonologist. Because honestly, what I'm seeing here is what if this entity was able to do all this stuff to the family, like they talked about and brought up, and then it was able to possess Kate, and that's why maybe she was such an asshole.
It's possible. I mean, Louis got some information.
So prior to John's death, the Bell Witch could have been an entity. Then after his death, what guarantee do we have that Kate did anything?
There's a lot of open-ended questions on this subject.
There are, because this okay, so what was Kate's role in the haunting? The spirit haunting the Bell family claimed to be Kate Batts. Uh, hold on, they fucking worded this really weird. Okay, the Bell family claimed to be Kate Batts' witch. At one point during interrogations by the Reverend James Gunn. However, the spirit later denied any connection to Kate, leading to the confusion about the true nature of the entity. Nonetheless, the name Kate stuck, associating the poltergeist with her. Kate herself denied any involvement or connection to the haunting. She lived until 1843, long after the peak of the Bell Witch activities, which began to subside after John Bell's death. Her name and story have become intertwined to the Bell Witch legend, often used to illustrate themes of revenge, curses, or the supernatural consequences of human disputes. Some interpretations of the story view Kate as a scapegoat for the community's fears, or as a symbol of misogyny of the time, where an unmarried, outspoken woman could be blamed for supernatural events. Others see as a wrong individual whose spirit sought vengeance. But wait a minute, she was married.
That's where I'm confused. This I the last time I looked into the Bell Witch thing or whatever I was watching, it didn't make any sense then either. A lot of this stuff is really weird. It doesn't make any sense with this subject. It's
Okay.
very confusing.
You're right. You are 100% on that. And yeah. Because you have a lot of people who were saying that it was Kate.
But then you look at it, and Kate lived this long, so how could she have been the one that was haunting the property and doing all this shit? It clearly wasn't her, unless I don't know, some black magic shit of made a ghost haunt the property because the land dispute. That's what I could think of. And this is the
Well,
1800s when witches are still a thing because the witch trials weren't that long before this. But
mhm.
I mean, witches are still a thing that's feared back then, and maybe she was a witch. Maybe she's just made an entity or a spirit haunt the property.
There could be a lot of things. I mean, we don't know a lot of what the capabilities of people were back then. Maybe she had an ability to conjure up something to put a curse on his family because of the dispute. So in which that would make Kate she's not the entity. She could be, though, a reason why the entity was walking and going after the Bell family. I mean, but my only issue with all this information
Mm-hmm.
is that last part I wrote about the misogyny of the time, where an
Yeah.
unmarried outspoken. To me, that just feels, and if there was no talk about Kate's husband being paralyzed at home, I wouldn't be saying this. But to me, that just seems like just bullshit thrown in there because
It really
somebody
does.
read something of this day and it's like, oh, that was a horrible thing that happened. You know what? Sometimes people are just assholes. And honestly, if Kate was going through all this shit with a paralyzed husband, she's got a farm to take care of and shit like that. And then she's thinking she's going to get some type of relief, or there's going to be some type of benefit with teaming up with John Bell, and then the shit falls through. I might conjure me up some demons too. I might get me on a Ouija board and be like, hey, anybody up? Anybody want to fuck with a family? I got one. Look what they did.
Pretty
to me.
much. That's what it seems what happened. Kind of was.
Look at my husband. He's not moving. Come on. Help me out.
Is that how she got babies? Ghost babies?
Maybe. Maybe.
You know what's so wide mouth just now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a good possibility of that. Let's see what Luna has to say in the chat. Back then, a woman that spoke out against a husband would have been called a witch or sent to the gallows or an insane asylum. You are right.
Yeah, that was the thing back
There
then.
was times of that. And also, in a lot of those towns that were claiming witches and things like that, a lot of those towns had some things that were around because they weren't like cities are now, where if there's a particular element that's coming through the ground, they come, they do the cleaning, they do all the stuff, they figure out a way to contain it. Back then, there was a lot of these towns that were just having these fumes that were going in the air, and it was said to make them all hallucinate. And that's where the Salem witch trials were coming from, because all these people were fucking tripping balls and then looking at their friend that was over there, and then, flames are coming off his head because you're so fucking high. And all you were doing was breathing air. So
the fuck? Was this the Crazies, but so witch trials?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I could think of was the Crazies movie. That's all I could think of when you were saying it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was the water.
Yeah. And that's I believe that's where they got that idea from.
I mean, kind of makes sense, but the Crazies was that crashed government cargo shit, whatever it was, the chemical that spilled and went to the water.
Yes, but the idea that a town can be taken over with a chemical in the water, the food, the air, that stems from the research on the trials and shit.
And I mean, just say it's been done, I'd say recently, but in the last 100 years too, with other things on purpose.
Yeah, you're right, Luna. I mean, it is exactly like that. I mean, there's so much. That's the problem that I have with today's religion and today's philosophy, because there's no sense to it. There's no purpose behind it. It's just point the finger and it's that person's fault. sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we believe in things that we don't know at the time what the actual repercussions of that are, and people will follow that. I mean, we're a nation of followers, not a nation of doers. The doers are the ones who are getting complained about because they have money, they have this, they have that. But at the end of the day, I've said it a million hundred times, this is that's the one thing that they truly fear. And if we could all get together on this one aspect where we just have each other's back, there would be a lot of change. There'd be a lot of different. There'd be a lot of difference. Yeah. But we don't do that. We stay where we're at. And until that happens, I'm just a dickhead talking on a microphone in a basement. So let me wrap up the Bell Witch for us here. I found this interesting. So we've gone through a lot of this discussion, this confusion behind the Bell Witch story. But let's go to Adams, Tennessee, near the original Bell family homestead. And guess what they have there? They have the Bell Witch Cave. So the cave is linked to the legend of the Bell Witch, one of America's most famous hauntings. According to the legend, this cave was where the spirit known as Kate Batts, witch, or simply the Bell Witch, would retreat when not tormenting the Bell family. So,
okay.
So they're making some money off this little tourist attraction. It's a little cave, and apparently, when Kate wasn't over there fucking with the bells, she would go into this cave and hang out. This was her cave.
You know what I just thought of? If we went and visited this, we'd ask so many questions and piss off the people there because it'd be like, this shit doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh yeah, I know.
Or Dash Witch.
Yeah, DoorDash Witch. Yeah, this almost makes me want to go back to Tennessee and start asking some questions.
They would hate us there.
The cave is a natural limestone formation extending about 500 feet into the earth. It's known for its damp, cool environment and narrow passages for small chambers. Today, the Bell Witch Cave is a tourist spot offering guided tours. Visitors can explore the cave where the Bell Witch allegedly resided, hearing stories of the haunting along the way. The tours often include visits to the reconstructed version of the Bell family cabin and other related historical sites. There's some paranormal claims. Many visitors have and paranormal investigators claim to have had experience or captured evidence of paranormal activity within the cave, including sounds, sensations of being watched, or even physical interactions. There are stories of lights, orbs, and unexplained noises. Some accounts even mentioned an act from the witch where she supposedly saved a child trapped in the cave by pulling him out.
That's a little far-fetched.
That is a little far-fetched. The specific hours of operation typically open for the tours during the weekends in the off season and more days during peak times like summer or around Halloween. Visitors are advised about the cave's conditions, including the need for appropriate footwear due to the mud and water. So this witch did not keep a clean cave. So that's something to go.
She should use Vagisil or something. I don't know.
Oh, gross. Skeptics. Good Lord. Man, Viking Storm is on his own ship today. Skeptics argue that much of what is experienced might be attributed to the natural cave phenomenon. Psychologists psychological effects of being in a place with such a storied background or even staged for tourism. So people aren't really buying into this Bell Cave, but people are going to experience it and have some fun.
I mean, it's a little far fetched with this cave thing, and I don't think that she. Where's the proof that she used this cave? I want to know. Like, what proof
They
that
said
she
it.
was there and like.
Yes, Luna, I agree with that. The power of suggestion. Yes, collective delusion, mass hysteria is what it sounds like. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like to me too.
Mhm.
I think maybe there was just some karma that happened to the Bell family for possibly screwing over Kate and this deal. So I think that's where we're at with this one. I think we can officially unpin the Bell Witch. I think we've covered it. I think
As weird as it is.
we do have questions, but I think those are more towards the demonology part of these things. So I think we've covered Bell Witch. I think we
Definitely. That was
this is definitely
that was enough.
one of our first subjects that we actually covered all the way through, and I think we can put a pin for
Yeah, that was
doneness on the Bell
very
Witch.
Well, Luna has the Moon Eye people, and she sent me her whole entire file of it that she
Ooh.
wants me to read for her. So this is all Luna's thing that's titled the Moon Eyed People. Long before the Native Americans set foot in the Appalachians, the Moon Eyed people were said to have inhabited the area. Earliest references were documented by a man named John Sevier. Sevier? Sevier? Okay, Sevier. John was a governor of the Tennessee frontiersmen and a founding father of the state of Tennessee. He was involved in some of the treaties that unfortunately led to the removal of the Cherokee Indians. Because of the treaty, it required John to travel great distances to remote areas. In one of his expeditions in 1782, he discovered a military-like complex on top of a mountain in Georgia that looked like European construction battlements. This construction was architecturally foreign to them at this time. What else we got here? According to John, he had noted that the construction had 12-foot wide stone walls that was 2 to 8 feet high. Okay, and with 8 feet high, and width suggested it was much taller. It encircled nearly 100 acres at the top of the mountain. Wow, that's a lot. There was a spring that fed the ferns and local plants that allowed the area to thrive. It was very lush. So this kind of sounds like it was its own ecosystem up there.
Yeah.
So it was a prime spot for habitation. Yeah. So it was its own ecosystem. Like on, if you don't know this, on top of the Colorado Rockies, there's sand up there. There's sand dunes on top of the Rockies.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's whole entire sand dunes up in Colorado mountains. Like there's a whole thing about it. I didn't know about this until a few years ago. So yeah, there's a whole ecosystem up there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. There was evidence that there was 2 lookout towers, large gates, and fortified fighting pits. John was baffled and mystified by the sight, and he sought to consult with one of the great chiefs of the Chippewa. Excuse me if I screw up this name. Chief Akatosa? Akatosa? Okatosa? Okay, Okatosa. Okatosa was over 90 years old at the time. Being born in the 1600s, the chief told John Sevier that his forefathers knew the builders of the fort and that it was built by white men from across the water who were there long before the natives. Oh, so this might have been like settlers. Wow. It makes you think they went all the way top of like Georgia Mountain and were like, yeah, we're going to build a whole entire system up here. When the Cherokees first arrived in the area of Chickamauga County, They found it already inhabited by who they called the Moon-Eyed People. The Moon-Eyed People are described as fair-skinned, light-haired, and almond-shaped blue eyes, who could not see during the daytime. The Cherokee had not seen anything like them before, and considered them a type of albino race. Houses of the Moon-Eyed People were described as upright logs. Okay. And the dirt that was removed from the interior of these structures was formed on top of the roof as a form of insulation from weather and the sun. However, some say they also inhabited caves as well. The Moon-Eyed People were said, where the hell was I? Were said to have occupied the region of North Carolina, starting from the head of the Little Tennessee River to the Chickamauga Creek over Chattanooga, with large forts established that were scattered along the way. The Cherokees waged war against them, and the last stand, according to tradition, was near the mouth of the Chickamauga, where the Moon-Eyed People agreed to surrender and move out if they could go in peace. Okay. Now, about the same time that John Sevier discovered the ruins, a researcher by the name of Benjamin Barton published a book that described an ancient people who were also described as moon-eyed. Were discovered in Panama by Welsh explorers in the 1700s. These explorers actually lived with them for a while and described them as the way the Cherokees did. Okay, now we got a second part here. Now, who are the Moon-Eyed People? How and when did they get here? Anyone remember Hernando de Soto? De Soto? I don't know how to say his name. The Spanish explorer and conquistador? Okay, conquistador. He had occupied the forts during his expeditions starting in the 1540s. Wow. Now, if the timeline sounds weird, remember these forts were built well over 100 or so years before, according to the Cherokee chief Okatosa. The reason why this is significant is because of the way that the forts were built, specifically Fort Mountain. In the Fort Mountain State Park in Murray County, Georgia, which still stands today, this location had three naturally high mountain ranges, the east, south, and north, that stand as natural defenses. However, the theory and suspicion is that the Moon-Eyed People built these as more than just forts. There's a lot of science to back up the positioning of the walls and stones. For example, one of the walls was aligned with the sun's east to west axis. This could signify a way to keep track of a calendar of the growing season. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
The northeast line of the wall even lines up perfectly with the summer solstice. Okay, so yeah, it was a calendar for them. It was basically their own sundial.
That's
It's
crazy.
likely that what's that?
It's just crazy the technology that they had,
It
you know,
is like this
at the
is
time.
Egyptian time stuff kind of thing,
Yeah,
like they're
exactly.
using the sun as their clock. It's cool though. The northeast line of the wall even lines up perfectly with the summer solstice. It's likely that the Moon-Eyed People use this as a way of predicting the position of the sun and the moon, so they can know when to plant their crops and if harvest will be late. This was powerful knowledge back then. This is what natives did too, though.
Mm-hmm.
The natives did this as well. How did they arrive and what is their lore? Prince Madoc was the illegitimate son of Welsh King Owain Gwynedd. Oh, that's Owen? Owen Gwynedd. When King Owen died, his brothers fought over the throne, and in 1770 AD, Prince Madoc set out on expeditions to discover new land. He and his 200 plus Welsh men discovered Mobile Bay in Alabama over 300 years before Columbus did. Madoc was so impressed by the land that he set out to go back in 1770 AD and get more ships and colonists. Allegedly, he brought about 70,000 of his people over. However, this is not fully confirmed. His second expedition, which multiple sources say it consisted of between 12 ships to 60 ships, was said to allegedly land in Panama, where they were never heard from again. Okay. This is noted by Benjamin Barton, who was a botanist and historian. This is the one who published the book I mentioned earlier. It is said that because of settling in the harsh remote area, the Welsh explorers were the result of becoming the Moon-Eyed people. It was such an isolated area that they sought over caves of the Appalachia, which would possibly explain the skin color and poor eyesight. It would be over 100 years later before the next known white people would arrive in America. One of the explorers was Morgan Jones. He traveled inland to South Carolina, but he was captured and almost executed by a native tribe, aka the Moon-Eyed people. The explorer begged for his life and was shocked that the chief of the Moon-Eyed people spared his life and, interestingly enough, spoke the Welsh language. In 1803, Thomas Jefferson enacted the policy to remove all natives west of the Mississippi River. He called for the removal of what he called Welsh Indians. In 1804, Lewis and Clark wrote in their papers that they had indeed met with a strange tribe of Welsh Indians in southern Appalachia. Then, in 1841, a farmer in North Carolina was plowing his field and unearthed a small 3-foot statue of two conjoined strange-looking beings with large eyes. Many researchers claim that this is profound evidence that the Moon-Eyed people were definitely there hundreds of years ago, or hundreds of years before the Native Americans. Some speculate that the Moon-Eyed people carved that as a reference for aliens and their research of the night sky. The statue is currently displayed in Cherokee County Historical Museum in Murphy, North Carolina. They went on a public display in late 2015 after decades of being hidden away in private hands. Current day theories and others. Some people believe that the Moon-Eyed people worship the moon naturally and they purposely did not come out in the sunlight. Some referred to them as crypto-humans, or as some accounts of Cherokee called them ancient man. Any current alleged sightings are up to debate. No credible resource that has been able to capture the type of photographic or video evidence of the Moon-Eyed people. To say they are still around is a bit of a stretch, but who knows? And in Luna's personal opinion, given the history of the lore and legends, if someone were to come across something that resembles Moon-Eyed people, that they may be seeing their spirits of those lost in the war with the Cherokee. Whether they are intelligent spirits or just hauntings of the past, it is still quite the mystery, or aliens. The world may never know. All right, and that's Luna's research on it.
Wow, that was really in depth and really informational.
Did a
Wow.
really good job.
Yeah, great job on that research. Yeah, you definitely hit all the
Key
main
aspects.
points. Yeah, and it's just, it's kind of awesome to know that you're out there. You know what, Luna, you're out there being a journalism. That's good. No, I really did like it, Luna. You did great research. I'm interested to know though, with these with the timeline, with the area that we're in, we know it's the Appalachian Mountains. And we're getting these ideas of ancient humans, which would be the Moon-Eyed people. I'm at a loss with this. I really
Me
am.
too, because it's
Like,
really interesting because they have their own ecosystem and like I mean that's what's referenced is I'm not saying I believe in the Moon-Eyed people. I'm not saying I don't. I mean it's a really cool subject. But to think that they have their own ecosystem basically up there, like I said, in Colorado, there is sand dunes up there. Not a lot of people know that.
yeah,
Like up in the Rockies, there's a whole entire ecosystem. I've seen like videos of, like snakes and whatnot crawling across this desert dunes and stuff, and like there's eagles flying over and hawks. Like there's a whole like lizards up there. It's a whole entire sand dune thing that you never think is up there. It's very unknown too because it's not a well known thing.
yeah. And it doesn't seem like they're like they're out for vengeance or anything. They're just out for don't disturb our area,
Exactly.
you
Leave us
know?
alone. Don't bother us.
Yeah, and It's very it's so bizarre. Let me see what Luna's put in the chat here.
I've heard they speak Welsh before.
Yeah, when you were talking at the beginning of it, I started looking up Moon-Eyed people, and
Mhm.
I thought I was going to sneeze. I went through X through the Gronk AI system, and it brought up after it answered the Moon-Eyed people, it brought up a lot of Welsh stuff, and that it's interesting because what they say 200 years before Columbus,
Yeah.
something like that. It was something like
No,
that.
600 years, I believe.
Was it even
Let's say
more?
600. I'm looking through Luna's notes. I mean, we all know Columbus did discover America first, so
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I mean, at least this group of intelligent people know that he was not the first one to discover it. I mean, we had so many people, and just like what we're experiencing now. Yes, were they natives? Yes, that's obvious, but they were here before, and they already had Welsh talk, dialect, things like that. So, like, I don't know. I don't understand why it did not cross somebody's mind that there
or
was
what?
other people here, that there was other people here before him. This is one subject.
300 years before Columbus. That's what it was. 300
Three,
years.
300. See, there you go. So you have to think the Bering Strait was definitely the way they got over here, the old ice bridge.
You know, it kind of makes me wonder. The ice bridge. It makes me wonder. Why were we always taught that Columbus discovered America first in school? Why were we always taught that? I never understood that when it was totally inaccurate.
Well, let me I'm not going to get off our Appalachian track, but I'm going to take a pit stop. Let me ask you this. If you were getting ready to basically take over industry, you were going to be the guy who becomes industry, your name is associated with it. And you
True.
find out that in the education system that's going right now, it's producing people who are wanting to create their own. They're wanting to go out, get that American dream, uh, find something that they can contribute to the citizens, and get their name famous too, have their name associated with something.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to need a lot of ants to make your industry work. You buy up the education system, and then you just gear it towards the way to get these people. Like my kids right now, my twin daughters, and my oldest, she's already in high school, so my twins are getting ready to go into high school. And I know we had this when we were in school too, but we had like core 40. We had, your basic. You were either going to get your basic diploma or you were going to get an advanced diploma because you took college courses, prep
Mm-hmm.
courses. Now they have like so many different diplomas you can get at the end of it. So my whole roundabout worded answer for this is, I believe that when the education system was taken over to design it to be more like labor, like a factory, that's the reasoning behind it, because there was too many people wanting to do it their own, wanting to carve their own niche out of the world. And when the Rockefellers and all those guys said, hey, but we need people to build this and make this and come to work and do this, we should probably get them at the source, and that's the education system. And this is my opinion. This is how I see it. This is where my mind goes. And, again, fans will throw that up there. It's not a video, but this is a disclaimer. for this. And that, I mean, honestly, Viking, that's where my brain's at with that. I believe it was all designed to just have a bunch of ants doing what they needed.
I like how you mentioned Rockefellers, and all I can think is, damn, I'd like to do that as a subject someday.
Oh, Viking, you know me better.
His whole the whole
It's
thing
in
with
the
the Amazon tribe and everything and all that. I love this story. I really do.
Yeah,
Like, he supposedly didn't get eaten by them, but is actually living with them.
Trust me, we're going to dive into the Rockefellers. You hear that, you old 3-letter agencies that are always peeping in on what I'm doing? We're coming after you. Yeah, that was threatening, wasn't it?
Very threatening, so scary.
Did Luna pee herself a little bit? I bet she did.
Bit. They're so scared.
I'm winning. I'm over here scaring people. They're turning the frogs gay, Viking. So yeah, that's where we're at with this. I mean,
I thought you were just a little retarded.
Oh,
I love that fucking clip. I'm a little retarded.
I do claim to have that affliction, I guess, that thing that just kind of makes us both laugh so much. God damn it, I got too many fucking Alex Jones goddamn drops. Oh, here we go.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of retarded. In that,
there it is.
I fucking love Alex Jones.
As do I.
He's so out of pocket all the time.
He really is. And yes, Luna, you are right. The spectrum came out. That is what happens.
There's
here.
a spectrum right there. We have Snowy annoying the fuck out of us over here, being loud as shit. Does she have food? What's your problem, Cat? What do you need?
What is your problem, Cat?
Yeah, just sit there.
Yeah.
She randomly just meows at us like we know what she needs. Fucking annoying.
Well, you know what?
She's a Wendigo. She is a Wendigo.
You know what, Viking? That makes me.
that's fucked up. That's why they didn't want Trump to build a wall, because they got to raise their own fucking kids. That's fucked up.
What the fuck?
It's fucked up, man. Your cat doesn't. That's why he didn't want Trump to build a wall.
I just want to party with Joey one time.
Uncle Joey? Oh, I would too.
Bro. Man, what he said he took like 3,000 milligrams at one time or whatever it was.
He does that almost on a daily.
How the fuck is he still alive, bro?
That's a good question. Something's watching out for him. Some people, if you want, we've gotten into a little of the paranormal. Some people believe that his mom, because I don't know if you know the story of Joey Diaz, but when he was, I believe, 14 or 15, he took some acid and came home and found his mom dead on the floor while he was tripping on acid.
Did he really?
Yeah. And some people believe that his mom is his guardian angel and things like that, which, hey, there's crazier things out there.
Bro, that's had to be like the worst trip of your life, though, man. Like, that's what you come home to when you're on acid.
Yeah.
I don't think a trip gets any worse than that.
No, I don't think that does. Well, I mean, I guess this might.
You look like Stephen Hawking's at the X Games.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be Stephen Hawkins at the X Games. That would be a little terrifying. Viking, it makes me laugh. It really tickles my heart knowing that these little dumb things that I do just make you laugh so much.
The thing is, it's always shit that I watch though between the Joe Rogan or Kill Tony. Like it's shit that I kind of pay attention to. I don't watch everything at Kill Tony because there's so many videos, but
oh yeah, there's quite a few. Year.
I know we're all about conspiracies and shit here, but I mean, it's a wrestling thing. Did you see how Ric Flair walked off because he was so confused on why they're making fun of each other? Like he didn't like it.
Oh yeah.
He literally didn't like it because he was so confused on why they're making fun of each other. He thought it was so mean, and he was like, "Why are they doing this?"
Ric Flair will not be associated with people who make fun of guys who are given.
Oh, Undertaker made fun of him for it.
Yeah, dude.
He really did on his podcast on 6 Feet Under. He made fun of him the other day with Justin Hunley.
And he deserves to get made fun of because Ric Flair,
Fuck
in
Ric
that
Flair.
moment, if you go back and watch it, fans, it's a Kill Tony podcast, which is a fantastic comedian podcast, really gives comedians out there who might not get a chance to where they can get a chance on a podcast that is viewed by millions. And Tony takes care of people who he finds funny. But yeah, Ric Flair was a special guest, and Tony is a huge wrestling nerd. And a lot of the other comedians that were on the panel they were all excited that they were going to get to hang out with Flair. And a guy came up, did his minute. They found out through the interview that he was a wrestling coach for, I believe, a middle school. So Ric Flair goes into how his son David, who passed away, was also that, and he appreciated guys who did that. And then the comedians took over and they started laying into this.
He doesn't understand that anything's free game in a comedy show.
Exactly. And the guy who was up there, the guest, he understood the whole thing. Like, he understood what happens at Kill Tony. Ric Flair absolutely
does not.
did
Nobody
not.
explained to him that you'll be made fun of.
Nobody. And I mean, it got to the point to where when he left, Mark Norman started making David Flair jokes. And it was fantastic.
Wait, was this David? Is this David Flair? Is he the one that was in WCW and failed?
Yeah. And then
Was it him?
he got a case of the SADS, and well, he didn't really make it out of that.
I didn't know that's what happened to him. That explains why you never heard anything about him again.
Yeah, because he was definitely one of my favorite out there's. But I mean, he got a case of the SADS. Hill Dog came around, and things happen. So you gotta be on your toes around Hill Dog. But yeah, that's the story of the Ric Flair Tony Hinchcliffe drama. He'll never be back on. That'll never happen.
Yeah, no, Undertaker was making fun of it the other day. He's like, yeah, he was clearly Rick didn't understand what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, I can't wait for
this
episode.
Well, yeah, it happened because I know he was on there, but it's not out yet. I don't think.
Yeah, Tony keeps those for special occasions, which I believe I heard the rumor it will be released during WrestleMania week. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully it actually drops. And there's just real quick before we get off of it, there's another great guest that's always on there. He at least does every 2 months. I see him on there. Shane Gillis.
Shane's great.
I can't say enough about Shane. He really got dealt a raw deal, but I honestly think it actually helped his career way more than it hindered it. And I believe that he could attest to that. And to finally show back up on Saturday Night Live and host it, as opposed to being one of the people who have to slave away and make the show happen. Fantastic.
The fuck did you say, Lou?
Look at that. We got the one.
Voters, fucker.
The only. It is the Lou. What's up, boners? Happy Saturday. Happy birthday to the Lou. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, it's Lou's birthday tomorrow.
It's good to see. No, his birthday's today. So yeah, so we love you, Lou. No, not 2 hours. 2 hours left on your birthday, yes. But it is your birthday, Lou.
Why are you saying his birthday's today?
Haven't you been watching Discord?
No.
Okay, so I've been trying to get as many people as possible to wish Lou happy birthday every day this week. And the only person I was able to get was Grunt, because he is my crime partner. Me and him rob banks together. Yes, Grunt, if you watch this, I am letting people know our business. We are known as the window licking robbers, because we also lick the windows.
So you're the opposite of the wet bandits, huh?
Yes, we are the salvating bandits. We get in there, it's a job. We don't rob very good banks, but we pay the Netflix accounts. We're doing something. Hey,
Robbing for that pocket change, huh?
yes. You know, I got to keep him in
Pocket change
those.
bandits.
The old fucking loose change boys. We definitely know how to Grun absolutely like sometimes I think Grun actually hates me when I go too far, but I absolutely love Grun.
Ron hates me sometimes for it too because I'm fucking
Yeah.
with him. He's like,
Oh yeah,
no.
because it's like we're just mentally disturbed because one of us will get going, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you see Luna chime in, and she joins us, and then people must think like those three are just weirdos. Why are they picking on Grun? He has done
I do
nothing.
sometimes wonder on Lou's stream sometimes if people watch what we say and they're like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
Because I know we make, because my favorite thing is Lou, and you know this, Luna knows this, is when I can catch Lou on one that he doesn't fucking, like, he wouldn't expect, and it totally catches him off guard. He, like, busts out laughing is my favorite fucking part. I
Yeah.
love doing it to Lou every chance I get. He does
Dude.
not, like, he's not expecting it.
Yeah, and I don't think he expected all this love fest.
Oh, I'm sure your audience looks at it and is like, what the fuck is going on? And then they don't say shit. It's just us.
I think they do too, and it's even really funny when Lou leans into what we're doing, because then I think it really throws like some of the newer people off, and they'll be like, "Whoa, why is he going into these? why is he playing into this? These guys are creeps." But you know, we just love it. Yeah, and I jump on that bandwagon with my favorite moments is when we can get you. To
Our
stop
key thing
what you're
is to
doing.
always fuck up your stream every time.
Yeah, does it fuck it up or does it make it even better? Because that's what made me love
thing.
this stream. Yeah, same thing, same. Yeah, I like it.
That's
I like it.
Same thing. Makes it
Hey,
better.
guess what, Viking? Though, we did the exact same thing that Luna always gets on us about after shows, and we completely found a rail, and we are now in Wichita, Kansas, is where we're at.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that's because we jumped off the rail from the Appalachian Mountains, and now we're in Wichita because we went.
Fuck. I don't want to be in fucking Kansas.
Me,
Kansas sucks ass. I've been to Kansas, Oklahoma, bro. I've been through there. It's flat. It's fucking flat. It's boring. It's flat. There's nothing to do there except for get drunk and fuck with the locals. I guess I don't know. I hate that fucking area. Okay, I hate it. I fucking hate it. Okay, Kansas fucking sucks.
You're being told to calm down, Dorothy.
Fuck off.
That's it. Luna's walking the plank tonight after the show. Viking is going to make sure she goes into the water for a little bit. We'll throw you out a life preserver. Don't worry, you won't be in there long.
Let her sit in the water for a minute first. Let her think about things.
Just so you can learn a lesson.
Yeah, let her learn a lesson. Quick.
That's fantastic. So Viking, we were here. We did our thing with the ones that we wanted to look up with the Appalachian Mountains. Is there any more mysteries out there in the Appalachian Mountains? Because there's going to be a part 3 to this. We're not done with the Appalachian.
Definitely. I don't know which else we can get into, but there's a ton of ones. If there's anything that interests you to get into besides, because I know the Bell Witch was your interest.
Yeah.
Is there any more that interest you that are like out of pocket weird ones like that?
Well, we did discuss it, and I don't know how much more further we can get into it because there is limited, like extremely limited information about these things. But the brown light,
there's a lot of them out there in the Appalachia, but there's not much information about every single one because none of it's documented. Because let's be honest, ghost hunters and whatnot do not go there and be like, oh, we're gonna look. That's not what they do. They don't really go exploring the Appalachia because it's so fucked up. If you ever notice, a lot of them don't.
You're right. Luna chiming in, the locals, inbred, violent locals. Yes, you are correct, Luna. Do not get out of your car when you're there. You know what?
I mean, that's a thing too. There's a reason why people don't just go up in the Appalachians because they will. Yeah, I mean, one example: the Aryan Brotherhood runs the Appalachians.
Yeah, that I could see that.
It's
That's
very
why.
well known that they do. There's a reason why there's only white people that live up there.
Yeah, yeah. There's also the fact that Luna brought that up. I know she was being humorous, but there's a place down. I believe it's in the foothills of Kentucky.
Oh,
I
is this some
believe.
wrong turn shit?
God damn it!
That just confirms it. See, I knew I was right.
You know what really aggravates me about this show is the fact that I can't just fucking hit him below right in the breadbasket, make him be like, "Oh shit, I don't know about this." He always fucking jumps on my wave. He's like, "Oh, is this about the fucking guy I hang out with on Thursdays and have coffee and we talk about what he terrorized people that week so you could fuck Joseph over on his fucking talk?" Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But here's the thing, though, with that wrong turn shit, they would, and I'm pretty sure you might have heard of this story because it's kind of famous, it's kind of out there. But what happens is you're driving along, okay, and then all of a sudden you're noticing like, oh shit, like I don't know where I'm at. I'm gonna turn down this road and see if there's a spot to turn around. Well, they say down there in this area specifically that if you drive down this one road, you'll see a guy will pop out and be like, "Oh, what? The only things that come down here are people who are lost and my friends, and I don't know you." And so they'll tell you to go up to this like little Jeep area, and the Jeep is overgrown with a bunch of weeds and things like that, but there's a spot for you to turn around. And everybody who has gone through this area and the ones who have made it back have said the exact same thing. Once the guy tells you to turn around and you get up there to that Jeep and you make your little 3-4 point turn and make your way out, back down, all of a sudden on your way down that road, you start seeing people popping out of each side of the woods. And if you stop, well, the people who've made it out don't know what happened if you stop. But the people who haven't made it out and come missing in that area, it is said that their vehicle is gone through. They are not found. They don't find any traces of their clothing, of their anything, just the vehicle. Everything gets cleaned out of it. I'm talking everything.
So they chop shop their car or what?
Chop shop the car, chop shop you. But it's said to be known by the locals that there's a community of cannibals that live up in that area.
Man, this just reminds me of the cannibals in fucking GTA. That's all I could think of is that you know what I'm talking about, right? In GTA 5.
Oh yeah.
As Trevor, you take people up there to the community in the mountain on Mount Chiliad and like, here you go. And they're cannibal fucking cultists. That's all it reminds me of.
Well, the first reported one that I found of the story was in 1971. So there was a female and her two friends. They were in their early 20s. They went up there, said exactly what I said. They found a guy. He said those words to him, told him, you need to turn around. And they said that there was at least 100 different people that they seen walking out of the woods to the edge of the road.
That's just fucking creepy. And why would people stop? I'd keep going, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking stop. I would do
Again,
exactly what
70s
Luna said.
stupid, so
Sign me up, let me gun it, let me run it, 10 points each, 20 for kids.
20. Man, y'all don't know the point system at all. Kids are like 1,000 points, okay?
Oh, well, I'll take them.
Especially if they're in a stroller, man. You make that fucker fly, that's like 5,000.
I'm telling you, I'm a product of being shown Children of the Corn way too early in life. And I am terrified of children in horror movies, so they're the first ones to go.
You know, that movie still doesn't freak me out.
Well, that's because you're a weirdo.
Don't look at me that way, not one single bit. I find Children of the Corn to be fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well,
the book was better anyways.
Well, the book was better, except the author.
Is way better.
Fucking pussy.
Stephen King's a fucking
You're a
hack
pussy.
job.
I said it, Stephen King. Block me on X. Fucking pussy.
Did he? Wait, did he really?
Oh, yeah. He's blocked me. Yeah. He doesn't. No. Yeah. I pointed out a lot of his books have a lot of
We
disturbing
talked about this
things.
last time, the whole incest kind of thing, and just
Yeah, and child
as we said at the time, it made sense, but it was a little weird.
yeah. And now it's kind of to the point to where it's kind of like, oh, you have that in a lot of your books.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Do you associate with these guys? Huh? Is this your path? Not mine. You old fucking goobers. Oh, we worship a pyramid. Oh, there's an eye in it. Fuck off. Fucking pussies.
My favorite probably show he did was actually, it was the only show that I liked of his, was Mr. Mercedes was fucking good.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up. It's a really fucked up show, and I was like, damn, this is good.
Yeah,
But you know what? Funny enough, hey, guess what's in there? Guess what happens between a mother and a son in there?
They go to the grocery store.
You fucker.
I take it by your laugh.
There's
That's not what
incest shit
happens.
in there, bro, and it's fucked up.
Yeah. And you know what? Well, we always talk about this, and it's the magic, everybody. And like I was explaining to my daughter the other day, magic with a K. It's not what you think it is. It is definitely a way to bring in things that are not of this world. And yes, I know I sound insane to a lot of people. I don't really give a fuck
Are you going
because
to
I
Topeka, Kansas again?
Yeah, I think we are. I think we are. You know me. You guys know me by now. You know that. And it's the whole Stephen King is what set me off on this, just because I do know what group they're involved with, and you can tell.
Stephen
You got
King's always been a whack job though too.
yeah, he really has. But I mean, now you have Jamie Kennedy just went on Jack Osborne's podcast, and Jack Osborne was up there. Oh, you really think these people are part of the Illuminati? You think the Illuminati them out there? No, I don't think that they're the high-ranking Illuminatis, but I do think that they're the soldiers. And if you're a soldier, no matter what army, you're associated with that army. If you're doing the work of that leader, you're a part of it. So for him to sit there makes me question, Jack, what are you involved in? We all know your sister was involved in a lot of the Diddy shit. So Jack Osborne.
Wait, Jack Osborne is an Ozzy son?
Ozzy Osbourne's son, yes.
Oh wow.
So let me ask
was in
you,
the Diddy shit?
Kelly? Oh yeah. There was many episodes of the Osbournes where Sharon and her were talking, and they asked her, where were you? And she's like, oh, I was over at the Diddy party, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a famous clip that you could pull up is Sharon, when she finds out about this for the first time, she gets excited. She's like, what if Puff Daddy starts dating Kelly? And then she like goes into this whole stupid baby voice thing that she does. But again, weird Kelly, and there's pictures of Kelly at the white parties too, over there with Diddy. So again, Jack Osborne, what are you involved in? You were an annoying 14-year-old who was just privileged. We watched it. You had a show.
God, I hated that show.
So my question to you, Jack, is what are you associated with? Why are you trying to cover up for these people? Why are you trying to throw others off the scent by bringing Jamie Kennedy onto your show and say those things? You know, it's just kind of where my brain goes nowadays when I see that shit, because I mean, we've seen so much shit come out in the truth of what's actually happening. And if you want to be blind, not you, but if you out there listening and you're just sitting here thinking Josh is weird, Josh is out there, what he's fucking lost it, that's fine.
Just let y'all know he's always been weird. It's always been a thing.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Joseph has always been weird. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so weird to the point that he has two fucking names. I call him Joseph all the time. I don't even say Joshua. I've never called him Joshua like once.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, Definitely do that. And Bruzy, thank you for joining us. Yes,
I've never
hope-
called, but no, I just realized that the other day. I was talking to Luna. I was like, I've never called him Joshua. It's always Joseph.
Yeah, that I mean, I get that from like a handful of people. I get Josh from a handful, and Joshua, and you know, asshole. I get that from my wife.
Oh, I get that all the time from my wife
yeah,
too.
yeah. You know, I love it. Wow. Always say the voice.
You do. Lou always says the voice.
Yep.
Always said
I
Joe
get that too.
for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a school lad and I was on the football team, I was known as Cooter. Yeah. Because after the games, that's what I was looking for. And I had a coach who noticed that after the third game. So that became my nickname. So I found some too, Viking.
I mean, that's where the storm part in my name comes from. So, is football. So,
See, look at that. Lou's in the chat. Lou is our connection of how me and you even know each other. And through that connection, we have found out that, well, me and Viking are pretty fucking similar in a lot of the shit we
that's
like.
the weird thing.
That is the weird thing. And, you know, we get Bruzy. Bruzy's been a staple in a lot of, yes, poor you, Viking. Yes. See, here's the thing, though, because Grun's not in this chat, Bruzy's going to take all of his energy and throw it towards my way, which that's what I welcome because he's one of my favorite trolls out there. Definitely got to get him on more of our stuff and out there just giving his little fucking weird goddamn opinions on everything. See,
Yes. Okay. So me and Lou, I mean, we're a lot alike, but I think Grun and Lou are a lot more alike, and then me and Joseph are more alike.
Oh yeah, yeah, I would say that 100%. Yeah, I just didn't want to make Lou feel sad that he has to be associated with Grun.
I mean, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it does
Poor
suck.
Lou.
I wonder who holds the camera during the videos. It would have to be Lou, right? Because Grun's the famous Asian businessman. Pick
What the fuck?
her up. Yep, it is. It is. Look, there he is. Yeah, look at that. Admitting to it. Love it. I love it. And Grun's not even here to defend
So is
himself.
this during your only windmills page like videos? Like I gotta know, Lou. Like is that what you and Grun are doing?
He's like
Grun's
Grun.
definitely the bottom, right? I can see it. Grun's the bottom. Lou's the
Well,
top.
okay, so this has been asked in Lou's chat by quite a few people who have seen it. So there was a couple weeks ago, I decided that out of nowhere, I was going to make up this scenario. And the scenario involved Grun. And from there, I went to Grun picks up loose change with his
Not
buttock
the loose change.
for Asian businessmen to throw him money. And this was all set up because we were in a discussion for IYH, and we were discussing about these moves we were going to make, and if these work out, we will have enough money to afford to bring Grun to WrestleMania when it's in Indianapolis. And so I threw it out there that Grun should, do some OnlyFans videos. And then it just grew. It got legs and it became that. So if anybody's out there wondering, that is where it came from. There's no truth to it. It was, oh, look who we got in.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's in there. See, this just proves it. Grun's always lurking on the page, but he's not actually. He never says anything. He always lurks on this podcast, but he never says anything.
I waited for a while to put the banner down there, and now here he is. He doesn't fight squirrels. You are a liar, Grun. I have seen it. Yep, he was street fighting squirrels, and Philadelphia police are on the prowl. They are looking.
Peanut would be very upset, man.
Yeah, Peanut would. Grun, you really got to
Better than
look
raccoons.
yeah. Yeah, you really got to look at yourself.
See,
Grun.
this just makes sense. Lou fights raccoons and Grun fights squirrels. They're perfect for each other. See,
they are perfect for each other.
Grun never denied being the bottom, so that just makes it true. I mean, especially if he's the penny pincher.
Well,
in
I
his
believe
butthole.
he mentioned show me the videos or pictures. No, Grun, I don't have to show you shit. Okay. Yeah, here it is. It says Josh pays to be the bottom when he acts like the top. So yeah, apparently I pay to get my beehole touched.
That's a new one.
Psh, I don't pay. People from all around come to touch my beehole, Grun. Don't get jelly.
I like how
Only
you put that
squirrels. I
Lou
like
has a
this.
Discord. Lou doesn't have a Discord anymore.
What?
The buddy's Discord isn't a thing.
What are you talking about?
It's not that I know of.
What Discord have I been in?
I don't know.
Oh, what, Lou? What do you call your Discord now?
I actually, Grunt, I'm not smoking at all, man.
Yeah, Grun. Gosh, such a narc.
Oh, I didn't know it got rebuilt. I had no clue. Last I knew, Lou ended his Discord like a year ago or something. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, he did. He knocked it down, but yeah, it's back. I was like, man,
I
who
didn't
the
know that.
fuck have I been talking to on this goddamn thing?
I had no fucking clue because I seen the buddies thing. I was like, wait, he doesn't have a Discord anymore. I've been gone, so I don't know. I barely have time to do this every week.
There we go. He said we refreshed it. We built it back,
Gotcha.
and Grun is laughing at you. So Viking,
Grunt, go fight more squirrels and fuck off.
yeah, did you see what Luna put up there?
Oh, maybe throw down some pocket change.
Hashtag only squirrels. That's just
There's a
funny.
guy that
I
rolled
love it.
dimes somewhere.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, Lou is making Discord great again. Yeah, Lou, that's great. That's right up our alley here. I mean, we definitely love shit like that. I don't know if you've heard Lou, but me and Viking and Luna, we all have a special phone line that we can talk to old Prez. You know, he brings things like us.
Knowing that our great countries is being looked at by the window lickers brings me great comfort. Join Viking, Storm, Luna, and Joshua Joseph for all the truth. Everyone says it. Conspiracy at Sea is exactly what America needs.
I fucking love it too much.
Yeah, I mean, he said it. He took a break from making things great again to shout us out and let everybody know that this country is going to be okay with us three at the helm. So, I mean, come on, information geniuses. That's what we are. If you weren't here and you didn't hear Luna's Moon-Eyed People research delivered by Viking Storm, you know what, Luna, I know I gave you the old Ralph Wiggum journalism thing, but you know what, you get the conspiracy at seal of approval. You did great work on that.
She did a great job with her paper. I
She
told
really
her, I was
did.
like, as I told her a couple weeks ago, I was like, hey, we're going to be taking a few weeks off, of course. Well, I should say this. We didn't plan on doing last Saturday being off, but you asked me, like, hey, do you want to? I'm like, man, it's the Royal Rumble. I kind of don't want to miss it.
Yeah,
Like,
I
me and
didn't
Luna
want to.
wanted to watch the Royal Rumble, so I was like, we could skip this week.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted you to say that, but I wanted to throw it out there, just to.
Yeah, I told Luna, I was like, I don't think I want to do the podcast tonight. I was like, I'd much rather do a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's definitely the best thing. And Grun asked for a picture of him with these squirrels. Grun, this is the only picture I can find of you. So,
oh fuck!
you need to really stop stomping on 2A America in my reality, my friend, because well, first off, Fry is one of the coolest fuckers out there. But I mean, if you want, you can be Bender or Dr. Zoidberg. One of those. You are more than welcome to. But
he didn't pay attention to what was on his chest at all.
No, he didn't.
Nope.
Grun's really making me sad. He's he's not putting any.
They used to put so much work into lying to us. Now there's no work being put into the lies. That should offend you the most.
That should offend us the most because the lies are not being worked at. So I don't know. That's where we're at, I guess, in life. That's what.
Grunt, I don't know. After hearing you drunk rant all night last night, I don't think you're cooler than Fry at all. You went on rants and nobody was listening to you the whole time, and I'm just listening to through like Lou's Twitch. I'm like, I can barely hear Grun, but I can hear him in the background just going off on a rant about something.
Those are my favorite moments in life, is a drunk rant. Just letting people hear what he's got to say, because
Anything that was happening, he was doing a 5-minute rant on every single thing that was going on. I'm just like, does anybody listen to Grun at all? I don't think they are. Like, I could hear him in the background on Lou's stream, and I'm trying to listen to it, and I'm just like, I can hear Grun, but I can't really hear him at the same time.
You know, when he gives me shit in chats, this is what I send.
I was like, football, NFL, yeah. Shut up. I'm in charge.
Yep, that'd be Grun. That was Grun yesterday.
I send that.
That was Grun yesterday.
So quick when he starts going off on me. But fucking
you are there. Yeah.
All right, Grun. We love you, buddy. You're one of our favorite people on this goddamn planet.
Okay, we're definitely in Kansas right now.
Yeah, we are.
Are we gonna do a part 3 on this? Because they're like you said though, because just to let you all know, the Appalachians are like, we're trying to. There's a lot to talk about. There's very little information on the events that go up there and the supernatural activities. Like, unless you watch some TikTok videos of somebody doing some shit up there, their car fucking up, and like, because just to let you know, there's plenty of videos of people's cars just randomly breaking down and just lights and alarm going off out of nowhere, and then they get back in the car, it's all fine. It locks by itself, and just, and mind you, these are cars that don't have self-locking fucking key fobs.
They're the old school.
Yeah, like the one I watched was it was a beat up old Ford Explorer, like the old 90s or 80s one, like the original one. And it was a red one, and these girls were in it. It stopped. The lights turned off, everything turned off. They got out, the lights turned on, alarm started going off, the windshield wipers were running, and like the car wasn't even on.
That's crazy.
And then they like the car was locked and they were trying to get back into it, and then it unlocked by itself, and they got in and started the car up and drove off, because the fuck else are they gonna do in the first place? But that shit happens all the time up there. Like, the Appalachians are fucked up.
Yeah. Well, here, let's do this. Anybody out there listening to us, if you're in the chat and you want us to do a third installment of the Appalachian Mountains, which we've already covered the Bell Witch, covered that one really well. We covered the Moon Eye people really well. I still think there might be a little more meat to the Moon Eye people's bones.
There might be. Might be. Oh, Luna's shaking. Yeah, so I guess, all right, fuck it. We're going to do a part 2 of the Moon Eye people.
Okay, so we'll definitely do
it. She will do it on that, and we'll find some other stuff to put on the show.
Yeah, so fans, if you want a strictly Appalachian Mountain one, or you want the third installment, let us know in the chat. Either drop some R's or give us a 3. If you're out there listening, just let us know about that, because next week, guys, we are getting ready to sit down.
I think I'll do that.
With our very first guest on the Conspiracy at Seas, and we are having a Freemason, my friends. We will have a official Freemason on the show. He is I know he just got confirmed late last year. He went through his whole well, I don't even really know what they call it, so we'll let him tell us what it is. But I know he went up there, he got his certificate. He is now a part of the Freemasons. I've known him since I was probably 14. Wow. His older brother was in my class. His name is Kevin, and he will be on with us to discuss Freemasonry. We're going to be respectful on this one, guys. So I know in the chat that you guys and audience, you've heard me discuss some things, and on this one, we're going to focus on a lot of what the Freemasons do, whether it be with the community that they're involved with. We're going to try to get as much information as possible, because there are rules to them joining and being able to speak about some of the things, and there will be things that he will absolutely not talk about. So I'm excited. I've never officially sat down and talked to a Freemason on record. It's always been just talking to them when I meet them. I will also discuss some of the things I know, like this sign. If you are driving and you happen to come across a Freemason and they have a Mason sticker in their lower left hand side of their window, if you are behind them, get their attention. Flash up these on top of the steering wheel. If there is any type of connection, you will go into whatever's off. It could be a what are those rest stops? It could be a gas station, something like that. From what I understand is they will get out, and if they don't even acknowledge you or they glance towards you and then walk straight in, nothing's going to happen. But if there's a chance that they go back and look at the back of your car, get in their car and leave, who knows what happens? There might be an invitation sent your way. There might be something. Who knows? But we're going to figure all that things out. And that's just discussions I've had with certain people who might know things about this. I will
Does that
say,
mean John Cena's a Freemason?
that's a good question. That would be something.
Well,
to
that was a
look
partial
into.
joke, but that's always the.
No, I did.
I
But
mean,
then my conspiracy brain took over, and I was like, I've never seen him with the ring.
have you never thought of that before? Yeah.
No, I never had until you fucking did this to me, just like your Monsters Inc. bullshit. I mean, again, I'll go back to it. If you want to talk about my dog, we could talk about my dog. Jeez, Viking, you've still fucked me up for Monsters Inc. So you know what? You're not allowed to throw out your ideas.
It
You
ain't
gotta
my fault. Monsters Inc. is literally based on celebrities stealing the Adrenal Clan from fucking children, okay?
Well, you know what? It is your fault that you put that in my head. So that's
I'm
on
sorry I
you.
made the fucking connection. But
And
now
I
that
don't know
you
how
think
you
about
sleep
it, does
at
it
night.
seem wrong?
Yeah, it is wrong. Because
No, no. If you think about, does the movie seem wrong though? That's not based on that. No, it doesn't. You
I'm
can't
going to plead
say
the
it's not.
fifth on this one. We have a Freemason coming next week. I don't know if
Well,
they're
fucking
associated
thanks.
with the Monsters Inc. And if you've uncovered something, bye-bye, Viking Storm.
Okay, but the following week though, we will not be available. There's a frontline show, so we have that.
Oh, well, okay.
It'll be our February show that we got to go to.
Understandable. And like we told the fans when we started this, there's going to be some weekends where we're just not going to be able to do this. And it sounds like the Frontline Pro coming up in 2 weeks is going to be one of those weekends. So, but tune in with us next week.
Bakerville bar.
Ooh.
I think it's Bakerville bar we'll be at actually. Mr. Anderson will be there too.
Ooh, love me some Mr. Anderson.
He's a great guy to talk to. Great guy
Yeah.
to BS. My dad's gone to the bar with him and drank with him and shit. Like, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people, fans, have had very good interactions with him.
Yeah. Mr. Anderson's a very cool guy. For those that don't know, Mr. Kennedy used to be. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
But he changed his name to Mr. Anderson, which is his real name because his name is Ken Anderson. So,
well,
a lot of people don't know that.
If you didn't know, now you know, because Viking Storm let you know, and that's going to be awesome because, like Luna's saying, Mr. Anderson, I fucking love that dude.
Oh, I didn't tell you a year ago when he was at the first, I think it was the first show, maybe. My dad was supposed to be the one that lowers the mic inside the bar,
and
he was fucking with him with the mic. He was fucking with him with the mic. Like, he'd lower it and then he'd pull it back up and he'd fuck with them. It was great.
That is fantastic.
And then I think he told my dad to stop fucking doing it or something. Yeah.
You gotta love that. You know, take your moment when you can. And for Viking Storm,
he gave my dad a look. Luna's not wrong. He gave him side eye. He was not happy.
You gotta love
and
that.
Mr. Anderson was trying to laugh for a second. You could see he's trying not to break, but at the same time, he gave the look like, motherfucker, give me the mic.
It's like, I've entertained hundreds of thousands of people before, and you're fucking with me with a mic. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He actually signed my Lou. You'll like this. He actually signed my Lou shirt. Actually, the shirt I had him sign.
You gotta love that. That's some killer shit, man.
Yeah.
All right, Viking. I think we've been in the Appalachians and Wichita for far too long. We took a
Yeah.
pit stop in Topeka, but
You
now
were
we're
so
here.
quiet.
Oh, I was away from the mic.
There
Sorry.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. So fans, friends, let's listen. Viking, let them know where that Frontline Pro show is. I know you just spoke about it a moment ago, but let them know some
I
of the
mean,
details.
it'll be, or not next week, 2 weeks. It'll be Bakerville Bar outside of Marshville. So, yep.
All right. So 2 weeks out, go and check out that. Go and see what Frontline's doing. Go like their stuff, subscribe to them, and see what they're out there putting out, because I've been following them for a while now, and they just keep every year better and better.
I mean, we have Kevin Calloway and Annie from the In Your House crew. What's Annie's? Is Oaks? I want to say
O'Neill.
Oaks. O'Neill. I was thinking Oaks, but Annie O'Neill is one of our announcers, and then Kevin actually wrestles in the program now. He had his
Yes.
first match for us 2 weeks ago. Was a great fucking match. I loved it. It was a great show. I got him to autograph because for the first time ever, we did a program, which was a whole entire magazine of like all the matches and everything in details. And I had Kevin sign his, of course. I had Hornswoggle sign his. I actually got a Hornswoggle shirt. Luna bought me a Hornswoggle shirt, and then I bought a one of Hornswoggle's pins, which are really fucking well done, actually.
I have a feeling that one day you're going to tell me that Hornswoggle is now your new roommate.
I'm good.
I
He
have
can
this,
live down in Oshkosh with his son, so I'm good.
I have this feeling that one day I'm going to get that message from Viking. It'll be a glorious day too. It'll probably be the same day I get Bobby, so that'll be fun. We'll have a good time, fun with that. So Viking, is there anything else that you got going on that the fans might be interested in?
No, that's it, man. That's all we got. That's all I got. I know you
Beautiful.
got your shows though.
Beautiful. So yes, like Viking just told you guys, he did a little drop because you know what, Viking's a professional by now. He's got many hours now of podcasting. He's got his own IMDb. You know, he's making moves. And if you want to make moves with me and IYH, you know where to find us. You can come and join us Monday nights. Me and the blue-eyed villain himself, Grunmeister, we tag team up with Kevin Calloway. We become the Bearded Brigade, and we talk to you about Monday Night Raw. It's at 7 p.m. on Mondays, where me, Kevin, and Grun, we get you ready for Raw. We get you 1 hour before there, 3 subjects. One is a general subject. That's usually what I bring to the table. And then my co-hosts take over and they talk about one thing that they want to talk about with you, the fans. We want your interactions. We want to hear what you got to say about the topics that we pull out of our hat. So come check us out. That is Monday at 7 p.m. That's part of the Window Lickers, brought to you by In Your House, where everybody's a star. There's so many people stepping up and In Your House. It's becoming a mega promotion. So come hang out with us there. Fridays, I do a little thing called ECW Watch Along, where me and House, we watch ECW. We go back to 1997. We're in December to be exact, right out of November to remember, and ready to kick off and see what happens with Sabu. Him and RVD are getting ready to take on the entire locker room of ECW. So come be a part of that. It's a fun time. That is at its new time, 5 p.m. on a Monday. Pop us in. Listen to us while you're going home from work. Get that extreme Friday going with me and House. And then on Sunday, it's a house party where me, House, and anybody else who's in your house want to talk about wrestling. They come on Sundays. It's usually around 11. We talk about everything that happened in the previous week, and then we get you ready for, well, you know me on Mondays, Window Lickers. Told you about it. Come join us. That's Monday, Friday, and Sunday. And then, like next week, Saturday will be the Freemason Day. Kevin's going to be with us. We're going to discuss all the Freemason stuff, and we're going to have some fun. And hopefully you come here, join us, and, participate, because it's going to be a very very informative episode. Kevin's a good guy, and this is definitely a topic that I want to explore. And I think we should show the good of it first before we dive into the unknown. So again, those are all the places you can find me. There's so much that In Your House is doing, so much Window Lickers is doing, and so much that you're doing. So thank you for taking the time out of your day and joining me, Viking Storm, and the young Jamie herself, Luna. So for that, my friends, we appreciate everything that you have done, all the time you have given us. And until next time, we will catch you on the flip side. Peace.
Disclaimer. The theories and opinions discussed on this podcast are for entertainment and informational purposes only. They are strictly speculative and should not be taken as factual or authoritative. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not represent established facts or expert consensus. Listener discretion is advised!